67, 67,
67. And by that you mean 67. Basically, today, I got up and I ordered myself some KFC. You want my order cost? $60, including delivery. KFC doesn't do delivery themselves, at least not the one I have here, so I used Uber Eats. $60. They didn't order that much. And my order comes, I open the package, and I'm like, where are my drinks? Not only did I order 600 milliliter Pepsi, I also ordered a 1.25 liter Pepsi Max. And you know how drinks are at these stores, they're just massively overpriced. But I was like, I'm not gonna make 2 orders to get myself a Pepsi today. I should have just drunk bloody Gamer Sauce, which is what I'm drinking now, actually. I'm drinking the new flavor. Sunset Splash. If I just done that, wouldn't be in the annoyance that I'm in. But so I ordered both of those and a mousse, and none of them came with the order. And it's like, well, you know, mistakes happen, right? There's always gonna be times where people make mistakes in this world, and you just gotta go, well, that sucks. You've made mistakes, I've made mistakes. So I call them, and I'm like, well, so you forgot my drinks. And the guy's like, oh, there's nothing we can do about that. You wanna come in and like get them or whatever? I'm like, come in and get them? No. Get in my car, go drive down there, get my drinks and come back. Get out of here. I paid $60, and a lot of that was in the delivery cost. He's like, oh, we can do another order or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I guess. So the food that they'd sent me already, I was eating it, and the chicken was chewy. It was like, I'm biting into it, I'm like, like I'm struggling to get through it. Like I'm like trying to like, this is gross. And the chips were like, KFC traditionally has good chips, and they were like ancient. I don't know if chips can go off or something. They looked like they'd been there for weeks. Looked and tasted like that. Didn't eat them. And it's like, well, you know, if I'm doing another order, I may as well order like another burger. Maybe I just got unlucky. So I ordered myself a burger so I could just get some food. And I called him and said, yo, I've sent an order through. And he's like, oh yeah, I'll work it out. And so the guy, rather than himself fixing his mistake of not giving the drinks to the previous delivery person, rather than giving them to the new delivery person, he instructs someone else to give them to the delivery person. And that someone else then goes on break when the delivery person arrives, so they do not give my drinks to the new delivery person, and the delivery person takes my one individual burger and comes back to my house. And she seemed like a very happy, bubbly person, and was probably confused why I was just like, you know what that second Zinger burger cost me? $18 with delivery fees. It was about the same cost as the mousse and the drinks. I just paid that twice and didn't get the mousse and drinks. I've paid $80 to KFC today and not gotten my drinks or my dessert. And both the burgers were disgusting. I have never in my life filed a complaint at a fast food restaurant. Like when I called the guy and said, hey, again, my drinks and mousse aren't here. He's like, oh, I'm sorry about that, man. Like you could like Google the KFC refund forms and stuff and like fill them out and send them in and stuff and they'll give you a refund. I'm like, fill out forms? Like they can take my money like that, but like they can't just press some buttons and give me back the money for the things that are still in their store that they have not given me and have no intention to give me? How insane is that? What, am I gonna fill out forms because I didn't get a goddamn drink? Like what, are you crazy? And so rather than filling out the forms, I Googled complaint form and I explained this story to KFC. I know nothing's gonna happen from this. Nothing. But it's like, as I say, everyone makes mistakes. You know, you make a mistake and you fix it, that's fine. But this is like many mistakes and very, very bad food. Cooked very poorly. And like fries that definitely shouldn't have been sitting there that long, still being sent out to delivery people, I guess, because they can't complain. Because it's harder to complain if they're sending it that way. It's silly. And so that's why the stream was late today. I would have started like an hour ago, but I was dealing with the trauma of ordering from KFC. One thing though, guys, if you ever come to Australia, Red Rooster. You've never heard of it before because it's just an Australian company. Red Rooster is infinitely better than KFC. Wasn't always the case, but I have never had a bad chicken experience with Red Rooster. Never. And the hot, spicy sauce, whatever that they do on the chicken now is really, really good. The honey stuff other people prefer, but I just prefer the spicy stuff that they put on it. It's so good. I don't know. The only reason why I had KFC today is because I had a limited amount of time when I woke up because I was already late for the stream. And so I went into Uber Eats and went, oh, well, KFC's first thing that popped up. Bam, let's get some KFC. If only I'd remembered in my sleepiness that Red Rooster hasn't let me down. Their stuff is so good now. Exactly, Kankus is asking, what made you choose KFC? I haven't gone there in years because it's so garbage. KFC, my experiences years ago were good. And that's why I would always say on stream whenever KFC came up. I'm like, oh, KFC, most of the time is really, really good. KFC, especially in Australia, is good. And I'm wrong. I am wrong. KFC has become shit. I'm sorry. All the people in chat were like, I don't know, man. I think KFC is pretty shit. They were right. I was wrong. You win. I will never defend KFC for as long as I live. I'll be like, yeah, you've heard of KFC, but have you considered our Lord and Savior, Red Rooster?
The next day? Yesterday,
I talked about how KFC completely screwed me over and gave me garbage food, and they only gave me half my order, and they conned me into ordering more food so they could give me my other half of the order that they didn't give me before, and then they failed to give me that again, and then they, rather than give me refunds, just told me to go fill out some forms on some website or whatever. Insane, right? Yesterday I was like, why didn't I just get Red Rooster? Because Red Rooster in Australia is awesome. It's an Australian chicken place. It's like a big national fast food chain, but it's only in Australia. And especially their spicy stuff is so good. And I found out today why. They are not open in the morning. They are not open before the stream. They open at like 10 a.m. I start stream at 9. And I was just like, no. So I scheduled myself a fast food meal. They will bring me my fast food at 3 p.m. So it's 6 hours from now. You stream without food for 6 hours. Something to look forward to though. I went to my favorite restaurant, Palazzo Salato in Sydney. It's Italian, and I went with Aitana because it's an anniversary, a 2-year anniversary. And we're actually getting married like 6 months away from my anniversary. So we'll have like at 6 months of the year, we'll have our anniversary of when our first date, and then 6 months later, the anniversary of our marriage. And that'll be like, 2 things to celebrate each year, which would be cool. It was a good night. We just talked, gossiped about all the people. I had a few too many spicy margaritas. So I didn't get to sleep quick enough last night, and I woke up way too early this morning, and I was just like, no, existence, no. Grab my phone, I'm like slamming. Please, mods, help. Type on Twitch that I'm not gonna make it today. Just slamming my hand into my phone. Unfortunately, there was a couple around, and they helped me out. I didn't see who helped me in the end. It was Spider and Bobo. Got my back. So, my fiance, she is away in South Korea for a couple of days. Could have gone with her, but I decided to stay back because we recently got on that trip anyway. I didn't need another trip this soon. And normally when she's here, it's like I'm not a person to generally overindulge in stuff. But when she's here, it's like, well, I don't want to disappoint her, and I don't want to disappoint myself, so I won't do that. But because she's not here, I was just like, hey, I can just be dumb for a day. And so I bought and ate like McDonald's and candy, and it sucks. My stomach hurts now. I miss my fiance. Not worth it. I also just took a day off, which I haven't done in I've ended the stream, and I was like, I'm not gonna work for the rest of the day. And I sat in bed and watched anime. Let this grieving soul retire, which it doesn't need to be grieving. I don't really understand why it's called that. The newest episode of that anime by the Full Metal Alchemist writer, something about demon souls or something. Watched Invincible, watched a new episode of The Boys, and all these shows were just okay. I wish I did not eat as much as I did. But anyway.
6 days later.
Aitana came back from her trip to South Korea, and she's like, okay, we both have to go back to South Korea. So both Aitana and myself do like skincare stuff and lasers and beams and all this jazz to make your skin look good. And she says South Korea is obsessed with that stuff. As in, all of them have like glass skin, like retinol, and like they do more plastic surgery than any country in the world. And it's a bit cheaper than here in Australia, or at least some of the things are. And one surprising thing she told me was that there is only one size of clothing. One. And they expect both men and women to have that exact size. How wild is that? They must save a lot of money only having one size, but fat people are massively shamed in South Korea. She went to an escalator, and it's just like, there's like a sign that says fat person pointing to the stairs. So they take the stairs rather than the escalator, which was like thin or whatever. She says in the whole time she was there, she saw like 2 fat people. Like they're just so obsessed with beauty and perfection. Like I hear about South Korea having low birth rates. That might be a contributing factor why, because having a child has negative ramifications on your body. Take an escalator, you fat, is a real sign in Korean subway. Yeah, so I might go back there at some point because she said it was a good trip. Nice to have her back, but she's now going to Africa. Like she was already plans to go to Africa, but her friend wanted to go to South Korea, and she got like a great deal for this specific period to go. And that's why she went, and now she's also going to Africa. God damn it. Will I go to Africa? She's actually kind of badgered me a few times to go, but it is a bit more full on of a trip than I'm used to, because there are significant parts of the trip where you don't even have mobile phone cell service. Now, on every trip I've done, I've at least had my phone, and I've done work on my phone and organized stuff on my phone. Being like a week without that, you know, of the whole trip, there are certain parts of it that I was like, oh yeah, I could see myself doing that. Like going to South Africa or some such. But there are other parts that are a bit more safari, bugs, and wild animals and stuff. And I'm like, you know, I got a lot of work to do, and we're going on other trips later and stuff. I'll skip out on this one. She's going with our friends, and so she's not going by herself. So she's going with another couple that we went to. At least we met in Denmark when I was over there.
2 days later.
I'm concerned, chat, because Aitana has gone to Africa. So going to Africa has always been a trip Aitana wanted to do. And it's possible that, you know, after we get married or have kids or whatever happens in the future, right? That this will be a less possible trip for her to do. And so she planned it out. And last night she was just like, I don't know if I really want to go. I'm nervous, and come with me, man. Like as in like the last 5 days before she's leaving, she's like, please come. I'm like, it's 5 days before you leave. It's 4 days. It's 3 days before you. Because she's got to get like, you got to get like a bunch of different vaccines and stuff, and take malaria pills and all this stuff. And there is a period where she's not going to have access to the internet, and there's stuff that's going on in the world with oil prices going up and shortages and stuff, because, you know, they've got to reduce demand by 20% around the world or whatever. And Africa being a poor region of the world, you never know how that's going to affect places. And although as sad as it is to say it is the case that the richer areas of any country are those they're going to be taken care of first, right? And that's generally where tourists are going to go. Like you can, like on one hand, like as a rule, they say that the safest places to be are touristy places, and being a tourist is generally a protection against like actual malevolence attack or something, because tourists bring in money, you know.
Africa is beautiful. She won't regret it. All depends on where you go in Africa.
Well, of course, Africa has heaps of beautiful places in it, right? It's a huge continent, right? Yeah, African continent. I was always said there's better and worse places and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to be hugely judgmental of all of Africa. It's just like, she's not going to just the best places or whatever. Like, she says to me, oh, I'm going to the city that's like the 8th most dangerous city in the world. I'm like, why? So no, don't worry. Like the place that I'm from in Venezuela, it was like the 5th most dangerous city in the world. I'm like, hey, that made me feel better. What are you doing? A place is only as dangerous as your ignorance. I mean, that's not entirely true, but it is true to an extent, right? It is certainly the case that you can stand out or not know how to take care of yourself or what have you. It's like when I was in Miami and Gabe, person who watches the stream or whatever, we met there. He was like, oh, Miami's perfectly safe. You just don't go to the bad places. And we're like, how do we know what the bad places are? And he's like, I guess you just need to know. I'm like, what? Went to Africa a bit ago and she had fun, saw a ton of different animals. Yeah, it's as I say, right? If it wasn't safe, then these companies couldn't be in business and couldn't run long term. So if you find a company that's been in business for quite a while and has good reviews, like, no, they know how to handle things.
Matt, did you see the real I DM'd you?
Yes, I'm showing it to people now. Yeah, so this is an interesting thing sent to me by Chop. So I don't know who this guy is, but he's tired of my face.
Person that I see that posts this gif of the guy bouncing the large ball, I'm banning them. I'm blocking them from my Instagram. I'm tired of seeing this stupid gif. Stop posting it! Okay, the next person that I see that posts this gif of the guy bouncing the large ball, I'm banning them. I'm blocking them from my Instagram. I'm tired of seeing this stupid gif.
It's funny, this is like one of the first gifs of me we made, I think. And I love the clip as well. I'm like bouncing her, are you not entertained? I think it might even be a longer version of the GIF out there where it actually keeps that. This is some guy 508 likes bouncing. I got some great GIFs. The last like 2 weeks, I've gone on like a massive calorie deficit, guys. And it's starting to hit me. I think it's disrupting my sleep. I felt really off my game these last couple of weeks. Why? Because I want to lose weight, for one. My body, I sat at like 85 kilos, or like 83 to 85 for a long time. And so getting lower than that is tough. Like your body gets used to being out of weight and tries to keep that weight, apparently. This is what I'm told. I'm no expert. Maybe I'm wrong. So I'm down to like 81 now. And it took a lot of effort. Like just not, I would not eat for a day. I eat every second day or whatever. I'd have like one little meat pie or something for the day. And why? Because I have my soup fitting coming up. I want to be at least 80. For my height, like a healthy weight is under 80. Apparently, according to AI, it's could be complete bullshit. is between 67 and 83. So going below 83 finally put me in a ideal weight. And I can see because my stomach it's got a little bit of heft on it, but it's much more flat than it was before. I'd like to be like 78. BMI doesn't distinguish between muscle and fat though, so it's like, it's not super accurate or whatever, right? Oh, I said 6'7", god damn it. You guys have probably influenced the AI and now it's just, everything is now 6'7". It's interesting. This is the most expensive iPhone, the largest iPhone, like storage-wise, but it's a lot lighter than the Samsung Galaxy Ultra S24. Like, it was the thing that I immediately noticed. And I didn't know that Apple still did the curve on the edges rather than the square. I don't know if I like it. It's not a deal breaker, it doesn't really matter to me, but it's just interesting. Comparing the two is just, even superficially has been an interesting experience. For those who don't know, I'm moving to iPhone in large part because when Aitana and I were out, she would take pictures of us and I would take pictures of us, but like you were doing a selfie or whatever, right? And especially at night, mine looked atrocious, terrible, right? But hers looked a lot better. I was like, oh, why is that? And the reason is because Samsung's front camera is garbage. It's like, well, regardless, like Apple's is apparently better. And I've seen Apple's is better. Like that's the only major difference. Other than Aitana, since we first met, has wanted me to get an iPhone because she can give me photos easier using, what's it called, AirDrop? Yeah, AirDrop. I do also remember hearing that some apps are not made with Android in mind, so that like reduces their quality or something of, yeah, so like the in-camera apps, like as in you open TikTok and then you start to record yourself or whatever, it's lower quality with Samsung compared to iPhone. And that's not Samsung's fault, it's just the apps themselves. Snapchat does that too. Yeah, maybe Apple is paying them some money. I don't know. But yeah, that kind of sucks. But like I didn't care about that. Like I would just, you know, record something with my normal camera and then put it in an app. But that's one additional perk. Oh, and so getting this iPhone makes my missus happy, and that's also good, like an added bonus. I was going to get the Samsung S26 Ultra because it's my job. Like I will pick the hardware that is the best for what I'm doing. But again, that selfie camera, just can't deal with it. Super expensive though, goddamn, yikes. Especially the storage, like they're charging you like $800 for an extra terabyte of storage. Wow. There are drivers for all the cameras and it's easier to develop for Apple than for 2000 Android phones. That's why all the apps are taking screen recordings from the camera viewfinder on Android. Oh. Yeah, I guess that does make sense. AirDrop should work on Samsung phones via Quick Share as well by now. Apparently it works on Google phones, the Google Pixel or whatever. AirDrop works with them, but Samsung phones, no. Oh, also the magnet at the back is going to be useful. Like there's a lot of devices or you know, accessories that assume you have a magnet in the back. So people with Samsung phones get like a case with a magnet on the back, but I hate cases. So yeah, that is my story of getting a new phone. Would it count as a business expense for better Instagram selfies? Yes. Unironically, yes. If it were not for my job, I would not upgrade my phone. I would have like a Samsung Galaxy S20, but I get the newest one because it gets the higher quality. The stats. My stats for my peoples. The audience stats are United States 30%, United Kingdom 10%, India 5%, Germany 5%, Canada 5%, and Australia is about the same. See, like Australia pops up here in the video section because India is very concentrated in the shorts. Video and live about the same, but then shorts, India pops in here because the main content, because it was how long ago was it? Like that India rapidly came online. Like there was a significant portion of the Indian population that wasn't online, and then cheap phones that would basically cost nothing, and they just gave it to everyone. It's like, here is the internet, you know, and it was just like hundreds of millions of people just got online. And so like 2019 was that recent? It was something like that though. And that's the only way to access the internet that they have, so that's where they watch it. Another thing I've started doing, or will have recorded, then I've recorded voice lines for, and now Star is making shorts. I've done all the hangouts have all been done when like Michael this. And Trevor hang out together, Trevor savages America.
I tell you what, Mikey, America needs us right now.
And so it's like all the hangouts like this. It's on this little caddy, so you can see the characters like in their entire body. And so people are always like, why the caddy? That's why, because it's the only vehicle where you can actually see inside and see them without any blocking, right? And for three-way hangouts, we've got this. On this particular hangout between Trevor, Michael, and Franklin, it's interesting that like it's on a boat, so all 3 can be there without being obscured. I think some of these Hangouts are going to do really, really well because you have to do like hundreds of Hangouts at very particular times to see them all. And without some context, some of them don't make a lot of sense. Hi! Getting to the end of a Viper Rambles episode proves that you like me and my work far more than the average person. Given that, it's possible that you might find value in becoming a YouTube member. Members get early access to all my videos, including Rambles, as well as access to my growing library of re-uploaded deleted videos, 5% off my merch, and the ability to leave comments and feedback before public release, which is incredibly helpful for me and my team. You also get a cute badge next to your name, so I can easily identify you in my comment section and live stream chats, and you can also use all my cute emotes everywhere on the channel. Lastly, after 3 months of being a member, you can submit on my Discord to join my GTA Online crew. Thanks for the consideration, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you enjoy future ones as well.